Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making a simple French chicken stew. We're going to start with melting a couple tablespoons of butter in a hot pan. I would recommend a Dutch oven type of pan, but this is the only thing I have on hand. And when your butter is foaming, add some chicken legs. I'm using 8 today. You can use a mix of chicken thighs and legs. I would recommend you use skinless chicken, but I just felt a bit lazy to remove the skin today. And to your chicken you can add some salt and freshly cracked black pepper. I'll put quantities in the description below. When you've got a nice golden brown on both sides, remove to a plate and fry your second batches. I'm cooking my chicken in batches to prevent overcrowding the pan, and this just helps your chicken brown better. And my second batch of chicken is cooked. We're not looking to finish cooking these right now. They just need to be seared, get a bit of colour on the chicken. They will go back in the pot and they should look something like this. To the same pan, we're going to add some diced onion. And I've just reduced my heat to a low heat just to allow these onions to soften and brown a little in that butter. When your onions are soft, we're going to add some mushrooms. I've just cut them into little chunks around this size. And we're just going to let this fry until that excess moisture from the mushrooms evaporates. Next, I'm going to add some whole garlic cloves. I'm adding plenty because the garlic I'm using hasn't been too potent recently, and I really want that garlic to come through. And when you keep it whole like this, it's just going to give you a nice mild garlic flavour. You can of course add less and mince yours if you like. After a couple of minutes, when your garlic is smelling really fragrant, we're going to add some thyme, sage and bay leaves. I'm going to leave the exact quantities in the description box below. We're just going to let this cook for an extra minute. And we're going to add chicken or vegetable stock. Some sliced carrots. I've kept mine reasonably thin. Now I've allowed my stew to come up to a simmer, and we're going to add either cream or creme fraiche. I'm using creme fraiche just because I wanted a lighter stew. You can use cream instead, which is also incredibly tasty. And I'm just going to add a couple ladlefuls of this hot broth to my creme fraiche or cream if that's what you're using. And we're going to do what's called tempering. So I'm just going to stir this into here, into my jug of creme fraiche. And this just makes sure that when I add this back to the pot that it doesn't split as it cooks. And it just keeps it at a really nice smooth texture. And then you can add your cream or creme fraiche back to your pot and stir that through. And we're going to do a similar thing to what I just did. I'm going to add a little splash of my broth to that same jug. I tempered my cream or creme fraiche, and I added some flour, plain flour, to that jug, and we're just going to mix this up to make a sort of paste. And this is going to get added back to your pot, which will help to thicken your stew. And that's getting added back in, and we're just going to stir that through, and you should find that this has just started to thicken up a little. We don't want it to be super thick. And we're going to add our delicious chicken back to the pot with some extra freshly cracked black pepper and salt, and just give that a little mix, making sure your chicken really sits in that sauce. Bring your stew to a gentle simmer and allow this to cook on a low heat for approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour, and this will be finished when your chicken is cooked through and falls off the bone easily. After an hour of cooking, turn off your heat and you should see that your stew has thickened a little and the chicken should be pulling away from the bone. This is when you know it's cooked. Give it a final taste for seasoning, for salt, pepper, lemon juice, whatever you would like to add. And we're going to finish this with a final sprinkle of freshly chopped parsley. And that's really all there is to it, a really simple warming French stew. I usually like to serve this with mashed potato or pasta, it's up to you. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Please do leave a like, subscribe, click for notifications if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.